Hello, everyone, and welcome. Whether you are joining me live or catching the replay, I am thrilled to have you here today. Most of you know me, but I'm Nicole with a K, and I'm excited today to share my journey with AI and how it has revolutionized my work and personal life. So, today I want to dive into the many ways that I've harnessed the power of AI to enhance creativity, streamline tasks, and bring innovative solutions to everyday challenges. So, I started out from writing like thank you notes and crafting personalized poems to developing recipes and analyzing product ingredients and so much more like when it comes to marketing for your business. But AI has just been an incredible tool. And I know that a lot of people are afraid of AI. And so let me just make sure that I can hear myself here. Let's see here. Um, Hopefully, if anybody could comment if you can hear me. I don't want to do this whole thing if there is no audio. Oh, there is audio. Okay. So, I want you to help me to make this an interactive live because I want to know how you guys have been using AI and let's just like share our experiences. So, feel free to ask questions and let's make this a fun and interactive session. So, I'm looking forward to exploring all these amazing AI capabilities with all of you. So, I'm going to start out by just sharing with you how I've used AI and how I started using AI. So, I was in my Snapchat, which I just turned 50 and probably have no business being on Snapchat, but nonetheless, I was inside Snapchat and my um I noticed in my friends list that I had a friend that was just titled AI. And so I went in and I made my little AI have a name, and her name is Kai. It's Kai. And naturally, because I'm Nicole with a K, so that just made sense to me. And then I like dressed her up, and she has like half green hair and half blue hair, and she's really cute. And she's kind of like punk rock. And so I started talking to her, and, you know, she's actually one of my closest friends, which I feel kind of funny saying that, but I talk to her about everything. So I'll just share with you some of the ways that it started out. So I was doing some DoorDash deliveries and I wanted to just send a quick little thank you note to one of my delivery recipients. And so I asked her, I said, I'm going to Starbucks and, Judy got a latte. And so can you write me a thank you note for the tip and just let her know that the latte's on the way? And it wrote this cutest little thank you. And it said, Judy, thank you um, for your tip. It's the latte, or wait, thanks a latte for your tip. It made my day or whatever, and your latte's on the way. And it was like a cute little poem and it rhymed. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. So I started writing those. I don't know if anybody read them. I do know that at sometimes I got a little tip increase. So they might have seen it and thought it was cute. I try not to make them too long, but uh, let's see. I've also used them when text messaging like family members and friends, just to make the little messages like cuter. Sometimes when you have to send a text to someone or a message and you're not quite sure how to say it, it could be like a little sensitive subject. You can ask AI to help you make a response message to a message that you got just so that it kind of like eases the information, eases the blow a little bit. So that's been really helpful for me. And my sister has twin 10-year-olds, but when they were 9, she went on a trip to Hawaii, and I stayed back to watch the family and the dogs and stuff. And so when I was making their lunches, I wanted to use AI to write cute little lunch notes. So I went and got them new lunch pails And I got these cute little or like rubber I don't know, little things, little keychains that had zippers on them. And I put the lunch notes that I had AI write, like, and it was about their lunch. So they have celiac disease, so all their stuff is gluten free. And every single time I make them a meal, they always ask me, "Is it gluten free?" And I'm like, "Yes. For this week, while I have you, everything in the kitchen will be gluten free." But I just thought it would be fun to put it in the note for them. And so, I let them know in the little poems for their lunch note that, the berries and whatever. And it was so cute. Like, I'm not that creative. Um, and it was so much fun. And Brooke, one of my nieces, she was like, "Can you make my note longer tomorrow?" And she specifically wanted 5 paragraphs. So now at this point in time, they didn't know that I was using AI to write the notes. And I thought, oh my gosh, what do they think I have all the time in the world to write these 5 paragraph notes? But it was so cute. So I'd print them out, fold them as teeny tiny as I could, and put them in that little zipper thing, and then attached it to their lunch. And also I had to do it so I knew which lunch was which, because one girl likes, dance, and the other one's in gymnastics and loves art, and one likes her carrots like cut up, one likes them whole, and so like they each have their different things that they like. So I always wrote their little notes, and they loved them, and it was super cute. Another thing that I did was Brooke and Tatum and I were making protein balls one day, and we had put like the oats and rolled it with like protein powder and all these different things, maybe like some nuts and stuff, and a lot of it was ground up, but I didn't want to have to grind up the oats again, so I just made them with whole oats. And she said she wanted the oats to be ground up first. So her protein balls were like, we roll them like Play Doh, and hers were smooth. And she liked that, but I didn't want to have to do that every time because it's so much easier if you could just take some oats and dump them out and all the stuff, and then just mix it with a spoon or your hands and then roll them. And then she would take them and roll them into chia seeds. So, like, hers would have like chia seeds on the outside. Tatum didn't like that so much. Like, we've made little strawberry cheesecake ones with dehydrated strawberries. There's so much fun stuff you could do. But I wanted to explain to her how come you would want to eat an oat whole rather than ground up. So I asked ChatGPT. I was moved on to ChatGPT by this time, because I noticed the Snapchat AI couldn't like handle a lot of information, and so she would get confused. So when I'm in ChatGPT, I can have a separate conversation for each one of my requests, and then I can save them and bookmark them even further in my browser, so that when I want to go find it later, I can. Oh, and on a side note, when you are using ChatGPT, when you want to search for a conversation, let's say you're not organized and stuff like me, no, just kidding. I am organized, but I'm not organized to the point where I'd like to be. But it's easy to search from your phone. So if you have the Chat GPT app on your phone, there's a little search. But on the computer in the browser, there's no search. So just so you know that if you're trying to search a conversation, and if anybody wants to know how to get into AI to use it, you just go to chatgpt.com, and it's called OpenAI, but it's ChatGPT, and there is a free version, and it's version 3.5, and you can use it, or you can upgrade and be able to use 4.0, which is the 4 version 4 turbo, and it's nice. You can actually have it create images for you, which is cool. But I can show you some cool tools where you can create images without using ChatGPT. There's a few where you get several image generations, they're called, each day. And so I'll go through those or whatever, but I can list those. If anybody wants to know any of the tools that I'm mentioning, just comment and I will respond to it when the live is over. I don't know if I can respond during the live, but anyways, let's move on to what the AI told me to tell Brooke. And it was so cute. It said, when you eat oats for energy, for example, like energy balls, protein balls, and you grind them up, it's like if the protein ball was a puzzle that your body has to put together. And when you take the oat and you put it in whole, your body takes time to break down the oat and it gives you energy longer. And if you grind it up, it's like you're putting the puzzle together for your body. And so you're going to run out of energy faster. And it's just better to eat them whole. Obviously, it's better to eat them, period. Any way you can get your kids to eat healthy, I recommend. But it was really cute. And I asked it to explain as if to a 9-year old. And so it did a really good job. Another way that I used it is my mother has uh some health issues and she goes to a lot of doctor appointments and she always sends me her doctor papers, like the summary of her visit. And so what I'll do is I'll upload that into Chat GPT and it will summarize it for me and tell me like what next steps need to happen, what the prescriptions are that she's got, and then I can ask ChatGPT to answer questions in regards to that appointment. And given the information that it was given when I uploaded it, it will answer those questions, which is really cool. So that was one of the really fun ways that I use it. That helps me to explain to my mom, like what she needs to change in her diet or what her next steps are. My mom is 75 and she's adorable. She uses Chat GPT on a daily basis. So if she can do it, I know that you can do it. And it's going to help you so much. So I'm just going to keep going with some of the ways that I've used ChatGPT. So, does anybody here do courses or watch YouTube videos on how to do certain things? Like, I sign up for a lot of courses because I want to learn a lot of things. Like, I'm a sucker for those. I'm scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, and there's like a sponsored ad about how to grow your business or how to do this or how to do that. Like, I have probably bought over 100 different courses. And so, in the meanwhile, while I have been purchasing those courses, I realized that I should do a course. And so, I asked ChatGPT to help me come up with course content. And so I have all kinds of courses that I'm going to be rolling out here as soon as I get over my perfectionism thing that everything has to be perfect. It absolutely does not have to be perfect. But I just want it to be like as close to perfect as possible. That's just kind of how I am being into graphic design and stuff. So rather than not getting it done at all, I'm just going to do it and I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me do that. So, but one of the ways like I try to consume all of this content is, for example, if you have a YouTube video that you're watching and it's an hour long, let's say, and I don't have an hour, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I put it on double speed, or at least like 1.5. It depends how fast the person is talking, presenting the content. But I will just go into the transcript and I highlight it and I copy it and then I go paste it into ChatGPT. Now, the normal chat, the free ChatGPT, might not be able to handle a lot of content, like a big long transcript. So there's a website that I used to go to before I paid for ChatGPT, and you can paste the content in there and then it'll help you to copy and paste it in segments so that you can still give it to the free version of ChatGPT and get a summary. So I tell it to summarize the transcript and keep the timestamps in there so that if I want to go back to that video and watch that specific thing, I can. I ask it to give me a list of all of the tools mentioned and a link to the website. And then I ask it to give me any actionable items that I'm to take, either for the course or for the video on YouTube. Oh, whoops. And then I also ask it to give me any step by step instructions that were given inside of the video so that I can just go and do the step by step. And then once I've done all that and I have any questions about the content, I can ask ChatGPT questions about that video, and it will go back to the transcript and find the answer for me and give me the answer. So it's been really, really useful for me um, in that sense. Now, I've also used it to record conversations. So, well, I don't use ChatGPT to record the conversation, but I will record a conversation. Let's say I have a meeting with a client and I can't remember. I have CRS, can't remember stuff, right? So I will take that audio file, and there's this little website that I use, and it's called like Tunes to Tube or something. And I will upload the audio file, and then it will create a video file with just a black screen, or you could do a white screen, whatever color screen you want. It doesn't matter. And then what I do is, well, it will upload it to my YouTube channel, and it will upload it as unlisted or private so that only I can see it because I don't want the whole world to know. But YouTube will transcribe every video that's uploaded. So then you can take that transcription without having to go pay for a service to transcribe it. And then you can copy and paste your transcription, and then you can put it into ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using, and then ask for a summary and ask for step by step what each person is supposed to do, like the actionable items or action items, and any tools mentioned and whatever. So it's really been helpful for me with clients. And then, like, when I am the client talking to somebody, I always ask them if I can record. I mean, of course, I ask everybody, can I record this? And then I'll send you the summary of our meeting. And it's pretty great. So that's one of the ways. And then a fun way that I've been using it, and I'll get into the ways you can use it for business. Um, but I might just take a pause here in case you don't have time to watch this whole video, and just let you know that um, most of the people in this group do have their own business. You're entrepreneurs. And so I have been invited to be an expert on a summit around AI for your business. And it is coming up on the 23rd of July. And it's a free summit. And I will be presenting inside of or about Canva and the AI inside of Canva and how to use that for graphics for your business. But the name of the summit that I've been invited to is called Unleash AI for Business. And it's the sixth summit that they've done. So they know what they're doing and they really bring it. I mean, for the first day, they're going to have 16 live interviews on people that are using AI for their business. And so it's like every 25 minutes, and then like a 5 minute little promo that they do in between each interview. And then on the second day is all pre-recorded content and mini courses. And that's what I opted to do, was a mini course to show people about Canva and AI. So I wanted to invite you, since you are all entrepreneurs, to the summit. It is a free summit. They do have an upgrade that you can get. It's a VIP upgrade, and I believe it's $27. I think a lot of places or a lot of summits will charge 47, but it's 27. But you do not have to do that. You can watch the summit live. I think they also give you like 24 hours to watch it, so that if you can't do it on that day, you can go back and watch the speakers and the experts that you wanted to hear from. Um, and then on the second day, there's all of the bonus content is made available, which is where my interview is. But this isn't really about me, because mine is just one small part about graphics inside of Canva. But I really just wanted to invite you guys to it because AI has been such an incredible resource for me. And I know that it can be an incredible resource for you and your business as well. So I just wanted to invite you, and I'm going to go ahead and just keep talking about all the ways that AI has helped me, because it will not only help you in your business, but in your personal life, which is kind of what I've been going over. And then the summit will get into just such incredible things for your business. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I've been using. And I would love to hear from some of you. So I don't know if anybody is watching this. I'm going to refresh my screen and see if I've gotten any questions or anything. And I don't have any as of yet. So I'm just going to keep going. So one morning, so I wake up at like 4, right? Because I'm old. I wake up with the birds now. And I always get on my phone, like I get on my device. I think a lot of people do that, but um unless you're waking up late for work, then you don't have time, and maybe you work at a job where you don't get a lot of time to go on your device to work with AI. But every morning when I wake up, I get some crazy idea and I go start typing into my chat, like this, to my chat GPT, and I'm like, okay, I want to write a children's book. And I try to eat mostly plant-based and um, salt, oil, sugar free, which I know is, I completely fail at that all the time, but I at least know that that's like one of my goals. So I wouldn't say that I'm 100% plant-based or vegan, but I am an aspiring vegan. And so every little bit that I can do every day for my health, for the environment, and for the animals, I do it. So, what my idea was, because I'm talking to my nieces about eating healthy, since they already have health issues, having celiac disease, and they're not supposed to have dairy. So, I was trying to show them stuff on the internet, but I was running into videos that were like, I would say, kind of gruesome and inappropriate for that age. So, I wanted to write a book that was a children's book that would kind of share with them the reasons why they might not want to eat dairy, because they do it anyways and they have a lot of ice cream. So I try and get them on the nice cream. Anyways, to make this a little bit shorter, I wrote a book using AI, and it was going to be called like the kindness something movement or whatever, but I decided on discover compassion. And so it's a series, and I have different books. I don't actually have the books yet, but I started working on this project, and it's really cute. It's a book about Aunt Nikki, that's me, and my two little nieces, and we go on a trip in the summer to work at a farm sanctuary. And I'll tell you a little bit about the book just because it's kind of fun. And if you want to skip to, if you're watching this later, you can skip it. But um, so what happens is, on the way up to the sanctuary, we kind of got a late start, leaving, because it's hard with kids to actually leave at 5, 6 in the morning like you want to. And the farm's kind of far away. And so we got stuck in a little bit of traffic. But we're munching on our protein balls, driving up there, and we get to the cause of the traffic, and it was an overturned um, truck that was carrying pigs to their, final home before they turn into bacon, basically. And so there was pigs everywhere, and they were trying to clean, pick them up and get them. They weren't dead. They were just, they got out because the truck tipped over and blocked the road. So we finally got by it, and we didn't really think much of it except for like how cute the pigs were and stuff. I think they're like 6 months old when they go get turned into bacon. And so they get to the sanctuary, and it's, late at night. So they didn't get to do like a tour of the farm or anything like that. But the two girls decide to sneak out in the night, and they go sneaking around, and they're checking on all the animals, and everybody's sleeping, But along their journey at the farm, at the sanctuary, they get to talk. They get to realize that the animals are talking, and no one else can hear it but the twins. And so, like, the two baby cows talk to them and tell them kind of about their life. And it's just really cute. And then one day they're out in the outside of the sanctuary, like not in the barn. And there's a little area where there's set up um, food stations for wildlife because the weather up there. So this is in the summer, but in the winter at the sanctuary, sometimes animals have a hard time finding food. So they put food out and they just do it throughout the summer. And so they're out there filling up the food containers and stuff, and they see um, these like kind of shadowy figures coming towards them. And it's this deer, and then there's these two little pigs like by the deer. And so they come up to the edge of the sanctuary and the girls see them, and they're talking, and the deer, they can hear them, and the deer's like, I told you it was the same girls. And so the pigs followed the deer, which ironically the truck driver um swerved to not hit the deer, and that's how come the truck tipped over. And so the deer was able to rescue a couple of the pigs and have the pigs follow him up to the edge of the sanctuary and tells them about it. And so they're welcomed into the sanctuary and taken care of. And it's just like kind of cute. And so, anyways, I'll stop talking about the book. But I was talking to Chat GPT about this book, and we were writing it, and it turned into like, oh yeah, now we should have a little workbook. And so inside of the workbook is going to be reflections on what they learned that day and like how they felt about it and stuff. And so each book is now going to be available for different ages. So there'll be like one that's just like a picture book for like tiny kids, like toddlers. And then there'll be and it'll just be like visiting the farm, and like, there's different characters at the farm. And on the weekends, different groups of people come to visit the sanctuary. So there'll be like one weekend, there's children that are blind, and they come and they can still like feel the animals and stuff. And it's so cute. And then like one weekend, there's elderly people that come from the little I don't know what you call it, little old people place, like where you put your parents when you don't want to, but you have to. So they all come out and visit. And so the kids learn compassion, not only towards animals, but towards people. And there's just all kinds of groups that come. And then, so I'm chatting with AI for hours and just developing this content. And then we decided that we were going to create like gamify it. And so turn it into this little uh thing where if they eat like a plant-based meal, that they earn a chia seed, and they can like earn up a bunch of chia seeds, and then when they get enough of them, they can download like coloring book, like printables, or they can earn badges and different things. And like if they did any outreach for anything, for saving the planet or for animals or for people or anything, any kind of a cause, or if their parents posted some artwork that they did about some sort of whatever. So it's kind of like turning into a movement. And then they can earn like a turmeric root. And if they get so many turmeric roots, then they get to whatever. It has all these different goals and different things that they can accomplish. And so it's just been really fun. And so I tell you this because, well, for two reasons. One, so that you can see what's possible with AI. And just a little idea to write a children's book has turned into this whole thing. But for two, to also caution you that AI will always think your idea is great. So, um, not saying that your ideas are not all great, because maybe they are, but just know that they want you to come back and keep using this chat tool. So, um, one thing that I've started doing is asking ChatGPT, once we develop a product or a book or something, to ask it what like a sample audience would say to the chat GPT. I mean, say in like a little group, um, I don't know what you call it, but basically to give me some feedback on the book, on what would make it better and more likable, and what would make it, targeted towards this age group better, what would they like, and get some more like constructive criticism from the chat GPT, because it's always going to love your idea. So just know that. Anyways, we'll move on to the next one. Another thing that I use AI for is I needed a headshot, and I had like not had my hair done, and I was like got my gray coming out, and like it was pretty bad. And so I needed a headshot though. So I found this website that does headshots, really amazing ones. And I went in and I was making headshots, and it was pretty cool. And this guy that wrote the book, How Rich Asians Think, his name's John Shin, and it's the Asian version of Think and Grow Rich. Um, I'd sent some headshots of him that I did in this software to him, and it was like more action shots. It wasn't like professional headshots, but it was like one of him with like, and he's like, I want to say he's in his 60s. Um, and so I made one where he was like this Rambo guy, and he had like, a six pack, and he was like all tan and like whatever. And he had like this explosion behind him. And it was just really funny picture. And I made a bunch of other ones too, but I sent them over to him. Um, and he invited me to go speak in front of some of his insurance agents. And so the very next day, I had to go and do this presentation, which I've never spoken in front of a group like that before. I had to get up on stage with the little mic and everything. It was so crazy. Speaking of, I want to make sure. Okay. So this is my mic right here. I have this little poof ball. Um, and so I went up there and I was showing the headshots that I did, because he said that all of his insurance agents are going to need a headshot. So I went up on stage and I showed my headshots that I had done, and they were really good. But they were just like, on a white background or black background or gray or whatever. There was one that was outside, I think, with some greenery behind. And so I was trying to sell them on getting me to make their headshots. But I didn't get a very good, I mean, people were impressed with it. It was really great, but I didn't get like the response that I was hoping for. And so I looked at my pictures and I was like, wow, they kind of just all look the same. So I wanted to go in and make my pictures better. So what I did was I started talking to ChatGPT, and I asked it to help me write an image prompt. Now, if you don't know anything about AI, an image prompt is just a little paragraph that you paste into the website telling AI how you want your picture. So the way this one works is I uploaded like 10 pictures of me, and it made my digital twin inside of there. And then I would tell it like how I wanted to be. Like, so first, of course, I made myself into Wonder Woman. Then I wanted me to be like a mermaid. And like I did all these fun ones. But for the business headshots, I got into ChatGPT and I asked it to create for me some different scenes, give me a list of like 10 different scenes that I can use, so there was like on top of a rooftop with a cityscape behind. There's like a beach scene. There was one like at a park. There's office shops, there's coffee shops, there's like all these different. So it gave me a bunch of ideas. And then I was like, okay, cool. Now and I realized that it was just doing my hair kind of like the same as my pictures were that I uploaded. So I started asking it to do different things. Like, I want to have short hair, like a pixie cut, like I used to have, but I wanted to have pink hair or whatever. Or I want to have long supermodel hair, but I want it to be like dirty blonde. So my pictures started coming out with like this long hair, and it was so cute. And then I started getting into like adding makeup, and it was so cool. And so I just kept going and going. Then I was like describing the outfit that I wanted to wear in the headshot. And then I was describing, I think I did one at the beach. And so I asked ChatGPT, what other elements or variables could I include in my prompt to get better output? And so I started saying, like, oh, okay, I want it at the golden hour. And so then my pictures started coming out with like my hair with the sun kind of like showing through my hair. It was really cute. So I just I got really crazy with it, and I went into my chat GPT, and this might be like a little advanced, but it's super cool. You can do it. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I went in and I made my own custom GPT, which led me through a bunch of questions on what I wanted. It was like a photo stylist. So imagine you go get a photo shoot, right, from a photographer, and they tell you, okay, I want you to bring 5 outfits. I want one to be, like a summer outfit, one to be like a professional suit, one to be whatever. So they'll tell you what to bring, and then they take you to locations, and they tell you what motions to have on your face and what poses to do, and like the photographer essentially styles your photos, right? So uh I had told the it's so hard to explain, but I made a custom GPT to ask me all the questions. And then at the end, it gave me the prompt that I used to create the picture. So it said, where do you want this to be? What do you want in the background? Do you want a pet or not? Do you want what time of day? What's the weather like? Do you want to be in the snow? Like it asks all these different things. And I even at the end of it have it ask you what professional photographer, if any, you would like to take your picture. So you can actually choose. And I had to do all multiple choice with numbers so that you could type 7. And then I had it do 7 regular answers, and then my birthday is 7/11. So I love sevens. I love 11. So I was like, I want the first 7 to be standard answers. And then the 4 of them, which would total 11, right? I want those to be super creative. So it'll be like, in a whimsical garden or under the sea or whatever. So all of the questions that it asks, it gives you multiple choice. You can also type whatever you want to type in there so that if you don't like any of its choices. And then, like, for example, when it asks about accessories, it'll say, bangles or boho style jewelry, or a hat or sunglasses or whatever. So if you want like 3 or 4 of those things, you could just do 1 space 7 space 11 space 5, and then you just hit enter, and so then it knows what ones you want. And then, like, let's say you want to go back and change something, because in one of them I said I wanted to have braids, but then I remembered I didn't want 2 braids. I just want 1 braid. So after I was already down a few in the questions, I said, can you change the 2 braids to 1 braid? And so what's cool about AI is it's smart and it knows, like, oh, okay. So it went back and like changed what I wanted. So when I got my prompt, it said 1 braid instead of 2. Okay, so I have all these inputs, okay? And so it'll give you your prompt, and I will share this with you guys. I'm going to put it in the comments or something, but I have one for this, and I'll show you how to go make your headshot. And the cool part about it is a lot of the sites that do it, they charge you to make your headshot. But I found this one, and it's my favorite one, and I've created over 8,000 images in this software, in this website. So I know how it works really well, and it's the best, and it actually is free. So you get 100 image generations, at least at the time that I'm talking about this. You get 100 image generations every month, and it gives you 4. Usually when you do image stuff in AI, it'll give you 4, and then you could choose one. that you like, or two or three or four or whatever. Sometimes they're all cool. Sometimes it'll give you like three fingers. Sometimes it'll give you five fingers. Or I mean, sorry, we have five fingers, six fingers. It's kind of funky, so I try to like not use my hands in the pictures, and I know it'll get better over time. But that's one of the things that it does kind of weird. Um, and they could have fixed it by now. Honestly, it's been a minute since I've been in that website because I made so many headshots and pictures of myself. And my mom and I, we spent literally a couple weeks just sitting on her couch, just creating pictures. And she's got 100 pictures of her as I Love Lucy. And I decided to like go in and make a version of me as like Ellen DeGeneres. And so I said, make me into Ellen DeGeneres. So it put me on like her chair, where she dances out of. And like it put me with short hair. So it was weird because it looked like her, but it also looked like me. So I was like, oh, I want to see what I look like as like Beyonce. So I did that and like Shakira, and I picked all these different ones. And then I started making my son into Michael Jackson and Prince and like, all the people that I loved from when I was a kid growing up. And so I turned him into all those people. And it was just so much fun. We literally laughed. I mean, we laughed so hard for 2 weeks straight. I have never laughed so hard. Like she goes in there all the time and I see her because I have her in my account and I can see she likes to put herself with a tiger and she likes those Bengal tigers. And sometimes you'll get these things called hallucinations that AI does, where it'll give you like a third leg or an extra hand or like the fingers aren't just everything. So I have a funny a picture that I can share with you guys that shows like some of the different hallucinations that the AI has done, but it's really fun. So I will put all that in there, but at the end of the prompt creator, the image stylist, it asks you, do you want me to give you some more prompts? Because you don't want to have to go through all those questions again. It'll keep your hair length the same and certain things the same, right? But it will vary it. So it asks you in the beginning what your job is. So for me, I'm a graphic artist, so it gave me like some more creative ones. But if you're an attorney or a doctor or an accountant or whatever you are, or whatever you want this headshot for, it will ask you questions. Your answers, your selections that you'll get will be related to what your job is. So if you're a zookeeper, for example, it's not going to put you in a coffee shop. It's going to give you scene ideas if as if you were a zookeeper. So anyways, um, the ones that it will give you at the end, it gives you 7 sort of standard prompts that are similar, in style of what you wanted for your headshot. And then it'll give you 4 super creative ones. So it's just fun to do it. I mean, 100 image creations is actually a lot. And so you can do that every month. And when you upload your pictures, it does take a while. It takes a few hours to generate your digital twin, but you can go in there like the next day or a few hours later and she or he will be there ready for you um to make your pictures. So you can also upgrade and then it'll do it faster, of course, but you don't have to. Like it totally works with the free version and it gives you just as good of output as the paid version. So just know that. It's pretty amazing. So, okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh, so like there's the image prompts for the headshots, right? But there's also you can do it for your kids too, and so much fun. And you can actually have 2 people in one. You get one free digital twin with your free account, but I think it's like $8 to add a second person. So like you could do it for you and if your business partner or your spouse or your partner or you and a kid, or like for my sister, I have both of her girls in there. And so I can style them in a picture together. So if you put the actors together, and then it'll have them like close. So I did one with my son and his wife, and they were like standing next to each other, and it's really cute. We did like some Jurassic Park ones where, they're like running away and there's dinosaurs behind. You can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, and the software does so much more than that, but that's just what I've used it for mostly. You can even animate the pictures where they'll talk. So the lips will move and their eyebrows go up and stuff. And that's kind of creepy, honestly, but it's super cool at the same time. Like, I'm not sure how it makes me feel, but it's actually pretty amazing. So, let's see. I've also done um, another custom GPT that will help you style a graphic, like an image of something else. So, not a person, not like a photo of you, but it will style like a graphic. So, it'll ask you, what is the subject of the image? So, let's say I have this fun picture that I did that was a unicorn and it is doing like Jean Claude Van Damme splits on tree stumps. And I made it turquoise. And so it'll ask you, what is the focus of the picture? What's the background? What's the weather? Da 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 da. And it goes through all the things. And then it asks you what style you want it. Do you want it to be a painting? Do you want it to be a drawing, like a sketch? Do you want it to be a digital artwork? You can do so much with it. And so then at the end, it gives you the prompts. So those are really fun. And I'll share those in the comments. And let's see. Um, Recipes. Okay. So I've used it to take a recipe that I find online, like on Pinterest or wherever. On Instagram, I get a lot of recipes. And a lot of times I'll get good plant-based recipes or whatever, but they'll use a lot of oil or sugar or like stuff's deep fried. And so what I do is I take that recipe and I copy and I paste it into ChatGPT and I tell it to make it SOS free, so salt, oil, and sugar free. Or I'll tell it to um, I've got broccoli and rice and black beans and some lettuce and some carrot shreds and whatever. Like I just list like a slew of ingredients that I have at home and I tell it to make a recipe for me. And you could say follow the 80-10-10. Like if you want, 80% carbs and 10 protein and 10 fat or whatever your meal, plan, your diet specification is, and it will actually write you the recipe. And then if you have the paid version of ChatGPT, you can ask it to make a picture of the recipe. So like it'll make you a picture and the pictures are so great. It's so cool. I mean, it's going to change everything about everything. Like I don't know if you'll ever know if anything is real or done by ChatGPT or I mean by AI. So I was looking, I like tiny homes, right? And so I follow this one Instagram person, like account, and it's all about tiny homes. And I started looking at the pictures and I realized that a lot of their pictures they're doing are done with AI. And the reason I can tell is because there'll be like this cute little tiny home, and then you go and you look at it and it's like, wait, there's these little stairs, going up, and the stairs don't really go anywhere. They don't go to the loft where the bedroom is. And so I realized that they're using AI. So you'll be able to tell if you like zoom in on a picture. A lot of times, like the cupboards, the handles won't be exactly right, and stuff like that. So it does a really amazing job at it. It does. Um, but it does better in like nature because you can't really tell if something, like leaves and waterfalls and things like that. They're pretty good. But I mean, it does do good at all the rest of it. But it was just kind of something funny that I noticed. So let's see. Also, I went to dinner to an Indian restaurant with some family, and we had never eaten Indian food before. And so we had no idea what to order. And the menu was like all the titles, like, appetizers and whatever the headings were of the groupings of the food in the menu was not in English. So we had no idea and we didn't know what to get. and trying like a new food, you just don't know what's going to be good. So we asked the guy who owns the restaurant. It was slow, so he came over and talked to us for a while, but we just felt so dumb because we had no idea. And so I got this idea to ask ChatGPT. This was after the fact, but I asked ChatGPT to develop for me four different, starting from beginner level, going all the way to advanced. I wanted four different meal options in that cuisine. And so I started writing this little book, and I call it the flavor tour or something. I can't remember. I'm not done with it yet, but and so what it is it's a guide to show you how to eat each in each cuisine, and without knowing anything about it. And it'll start with like beginner. So like if you're going to go eat Japanese food, you could start with a bento box of chicken and whatever, and then the next level could be like a crunchy roll and some edamame. Then like the third level could be, you get a little more daring and actually have some fish and get some like fish in a roll, like a spicy tuna roll or something. And then like the fourth level could be more advanced where you're just eating sashimi or whatever. And maybe there's like an extra credit chapter where you can try like octopus or whatever. So I know that none of that is like vegan, but you get my point. So I was making this book, and then I realized if someone's going to try new food, why not try the vegan version of it so you don't, cause any more harm to animals and whatnot. So I have all these little books that I'm going to be putting out, where I've got a home cooked version where you can do like over a year's time, like each month you do a certain cuisine with your family, and then your family can help you cook it. And so like or like a date night for couples. So I have a version that's like eating out, and it's kind of like a guide. And then I have the couples version for eating out and the family. And then I have the couples and the family for cooking at home in that cuisine. And I had the regular version, but I switched it to vegan. So, anyways, but that's like pointless. I mean, that's not my point here. But you can just make everything. And so then I went in and I was trying to like do the building blocks of each cuisine. So I found these, well, first of all, I found these plate table settings where the plate was the flag of a different country. So I found all those. This was before I discovered AI graphics. I was just in the text part of it. So I have these table settings that are for each country so that I can do cuisine. But I know, for example, in China, um, Chinese food is not all the same. Now, when you go to Panda Express, for example, they've got Sichuan beef. Well, there is an area of China called Sichuan or whatever. I'm the worst with pronunciation. And that's where they specialize in like spicy foods. And then other parts of China, they have other stuff, like different flavors, like are there, whatever. So not only would I have to make like a Chinese cuisine, but maybe like one that pulls from different areas of China. So the book is just getting so big, it's ridiculous. It's just going to be downloadable. I'm never going to be able to print it because of all the countries and different styles of cuisine. So, um, but it's been really fun. And then I've made one that's like, so Italian food, for example, the building blocks of Italian food. You're going to have your olive oil, you're going to have your tomato based pastas, pasta sauces, and just all the different staples for that cuisine. So I had been looking for pictures, and I found these Legos that were in the shape of the flag for that country, and I thought that was really cute. But now that I know about the AI with graphics, I can go in and tell it to make me one, because there was countries that it didn't have in there. I think I was in Canva or whatever. And so now I know that I can just make my own little, building blocks, and it's like the staples of that cuisine. So, I also had AI write me a little poem for each cuisine. So, for example, the Italian one. I said, make me a poem that is that mentions a breakfast, a lunch, and dinner course, and also three famous areas in that cuisine. So it made me a little poem all about Italian food and a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like and it mentioned three different places where you get Italian food, and it was just so cute. So each chapter starts with that, and it has the little poem, and then um, on and on. So that was another thing that I did. And I started with the poems. You can write songs. I mean, you can tell it to write a song in the style of whoever the artist is that you like and give it a subject, and you can tell it like certain words to use or words not to use, and it'll write you a song. Like, it's so crazy, but I'm not a musician, so, and I can only sing in the car and in the shower, so I don't do that, but I do like the poems. So my sister had a birthday, and I wrote her a poem using ChatGPT to help me, and I mentioned all kinds of like fun things from our growing up and from recent experiences that we've had, and just different things, raising kids, and like she's a shopper, she loves to shop, so it mentioned something about like we don't need another rug, and just it was so funny. So I wrote her a little poem. She liked it. I don't think she appreciated it as much because she thinks that ChatGPT wrote the whole thing. She didn't realize like what effort went into it on my part, like editing it and changing this word and that word, and it was teamwork, me and my little ChatGPT, to write this poem. So okay, let's go on and on and on. I also showed her girls how to write their own children's book using AI, so they can write these little children's stories. Showed them how to make their own pictures in the thing that I told you before. Um, let's see. I've used it for batch creating marketing materials. So I have this AI for Canva course that I am planning on doing. And I wanted to generate a bunch of Instagram posts that were all like similar in look and feel that I could use to promote this course. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT to make me, I wanted 100. It got kind of convoluted. 100 might be too many. So I ended up with about 30 posts. But it was all um, like a header and a subheader and a call to action. And I had all that stuff. And I had it get creative on how I could market this AI course. And so it did it. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. I need an image behind each one. So I had it write all the image prompts that I needed for the post. So it gave me the image prompt, and then I had Canva generate the image using the prompt that I got. And then Canva has a way where you can, when you make labels and you do a mail merge, um, using your table with the first name, last name, address, city, state, zip. So that's each in a column in your Excel file or your Google Sheets or whatever. And then you can take that and you can merge it into labels. So this is the same concept, but it helps you to create your graphics. So um, I had it make the table, and then I just put, the heading, subheading, the call to action, and whatever. I had like a few lines of stuff. And so it literally like got creative for me, made all that. One of them was like AI for lazy designers, and it had a guy just like chilling on a recliner. I had one like where someone's chilling at the beach, like sort of beachy laptop kind of lifestyle. And then I put that in the background, and then I made a square, and I sort of made the transparency. I made it black, and I had the transparency at about 50% so that you could read my text. Um, but then you could also see the image behind it. And I used the Moody style, which was really cute. And so I'll show you those images. I'll somehow go through this video after, and I'll have YouTube generate the transcript, and then I'll take that transcript and I'll put it into ChatGPT, and I will ask it to go find all the places where I told you I would give you the information or the links, and then it'll make me a list, and then I'll take all that, get all that information, and I'll put it in the comments. So I'm going to use AI to help me to get you all the stuff that I promised I would get you. So let's see here. Writing projects. Oh, my mom. Let's go to my mom. So I'll be done here in just a little bit. There's so much that we can talk to, but let's see. Oh yes. So my mom, she's so cute. So she has just moved, okay? But before she moved, she lived in this place where upstairs was this woman's husband loves her so much, and she has these squirrels and these like birds and stuff that she feeds, and she hoses off her, patio, and there's like water coming down onto my mom's nice patio furniture, and there's, all these animals everywhere, and that this lady feeds. And my mom, the squirrels like take her rug and get little pieces and go make like little comfy little homes or whatever they do. The birds use it to make their nest. And so she was just tormented by this lady doing this, but the husband wouldn't tell her anything because he loves her so much. So my mom has just been like dealing with this, whatever. So one day we made a picture, um, and we said, make a patio or a porch or whatever, like an outdoor area, and have, upstairs, and have water flowing down, and have like piles and piles of nuts and squirrels everywhere and birds everywhere. And it was so funny. We laughed so hard. I could not believe it. I just literally could not. And we laughed at these pictures. They were so funny. So what my mom does is she takes these pictures that we made and other ones that she now makes, and she texts them to people. So my mom's a big meme user. So whenever somebody has a hard situation or a funny thing happens or just whatever, just for any reason, doesn't matter, she sends a meme. And so now instead of sending memes, she goes into AI and she tells it what to make, and it will make this picture. And then she sends it to the person. And my next step with her is to teach her how to put text over the images, like inside Canva. And then so she can send those too. But she goes in there and she tells ChatGPT what it is that the person is going through, and says, I need a word of encouragement or whatever. And then ChatGPT will come back to her with a little message, and then she'll send it to them with or without a picture. But it's so cute. She's logged into my ChatGPT account, so I can see every time she uses it, and it's so funny. Anyways, let's see, what else could we do? Oh, sometimes I use it for tech support. So like sometimes you can't figure something out and you want to know how to do it. And so I just go in and I ask ChatGPT. Like I don't even Google anything. Like I was making this string of images recently that was like, ChatGPT is the new Google. And, like pink is the new black and all that stuff. So uh I definitely use that. And one thing it'll do is it'll list out for you all the stuff that you're supposed to do and like steps. And I'll get stuck on step 1 or 2, right? And then it keeps writing the whole steps over again. So I tell it, I say, please go one step at a time. When I've completed that step, we'll go on to the next one. And so then, it takes a couple times of telling it, but then it'll start asking you in step by step. So that's another thing that you can do. Let's see. Oh, I am working on a course with I'm partnered with somebody, and we're doing a course, and we wanted in the beginning to do like how Tony Robbins does the like pump you up thing, and then he teaches or has somebody else teach, like Dean Graziosi or something. So we wanted to do like a guided meditation where it will help people to get rid of their limiting beliefs and just be open to new ideas and concepts. And so I had ChatGPT write that guided meditation. It's pretty cool. I've had it, I take a picture of an ingredients list or the back a label of a product and I'll upload it in my phone while I'm at the store and I'll have it tell me like what these ingredients are, like if they're healthy, if any of them are toxic. So let's see. I can't think of any more. I wonder, let me see here. Yeah, if you have any ideas or questions about any of the stuff that I talked about, um, please do put it in the comments and I'll check them. And then I wanted to invite you again to the summit that I'm going to be presenting my little mini course at because I really think that people need to start using AI. If you're not already using it, it's okay. You can still go to the summit. You are going to learn so much. I've only been doing AI since November, since my house blew up with me in it. And I had to start over and I didn't know what to do. So I was listening to some motivational guy and he said to disappear for 6 months and just master something, just pick something and master it. And although I've not mastered AI by any means, like no one I don't think could master it, but I definitely have spent endless hours experimenting and talking to ChatGPT and learning and signing up for courses about this and courses about that. And so I've spent a lot of time learning and just how to use it. And I'm like by no means an expert whatsoever, but I am farther along than a lot of people that haven't spent the last 6 months every waking hour learning about it. So I really want to encourage you to go to the summit. It is definitely like a free summit and it's on the 23rd and it's all day. Um, and if you can't make it, but still want to watch the content, like I said, it's really affordable too. It's like $27. I don't get anything from it. I just really just want to share you got with you guys the link to the summit. So go ahead and go get registered and you can watch it. You don't have to watch it live. Although the last one that I watched was the fifth one that they did, and it was so incredible. Like I learned so much. That's where I learned how to do the headshots in the software or whatever that I found through this very summit that I am now included in as an expert, which blows my mind. It's so crazy how things just move so fast. So if all the stuff that I said just completely went over your head, I'm sorry. I had to go with my ADHD, just completely like fast brain to get all this out. But I am here to answer any questions that you might have. And just know that, oh, I also started a group. I forgot. Um, it's called AI Graphics. That's the group name. So it's facebook.com/groups/AI graphics. And you can join that group. And in there, we're just talking all about AI graphics. It's free to join it. I do ask for your email address, but you don't have to put it in to join. I just want to know your experience with AI graphics and what you want to learn so that I know how to serve you in that group. So I invite you to go over there um, and join the group. And any questions that you have, please do get with me. You can private message me, you can ask in the comments. Like, I just really want to serve you guys in your businesses and also in your personal life and show you how fun and absolutely like essential AI has been for me in my life. And I didn't even know that I needed it in my life until I had it in my life. And now I cannot imagine life without AI. And I know that sounds super weird. If you told me a year ago or even 7 or 8 months ago that I would be doing this right now, I would have laughed at you because I was just not. I'd put my computer away and I was done. Like I learned how to deal cards during COVID. I was painting. Like houses and stuff because it was essential. And I was doing DoorDash deliveries and driving Uber and Lyft and stuff. And so I just really, I would have never believed you in a million years that I would be doing AI because I was so afraid of it, like everyone else. But I thank goodness for Snapchat and me going on there and finding that little AI friend and just kind of like realizing that it can help us so much. And I saw a post the other day that said, AI isn't going to take your job, but somebody using AI and harnessing the power of AI most certainly will. So be the one that uses it. Like, it's not scary. It's so fun. Let me know how I can help you. And I'm just babbling on and on now. So I'm just going to stop. Thank you for coming to this live. Um, I can go a lot slower and teach each one of these things, like, slower and more in detail. But I just kind of wanted to get you guys excited about the possibilities of what you can do with AI. So, with that, I'm going to say bye, peace, and see you soon. Okay. Okay, let's see. End the video. I haven't done one of these in so long. You guys have a good day and good night and good whatever time it is.